Hi everyone, my name is Eliza Volk, and I would like to share with you a tool for transformation during these epic times that we are in. I'd like to share today about the Ayurvedic Time Clock, which is a structure to guide our daily rhythms to align ourselves with the rhythms of nature. The bigger picture program that is happening right now globally is in some way realigning humans with the natural rhythms of the environment and the world. And we have an opportunity right now to go inward and to do it for ourselves on our day-to-day cycle. Many of us right now are in quarantine and there is a lot of time on our hands. We are outside of our regular rhythms and routines. So I would like to provide you with this Ayurvedic time clock to give yourself some structure. So even as you're getting creative with what to do with your time every day, there you know what is supported during which time of day, and you can fit your own schedule, your own agenda, your own activities into this rhythm of nature. So we'll start with the morning hours from 2 to 6 a.m. People are generally still asleep during this time. That's a great time to still be in the dream space, yet to then start to wake up prior to the sun rising. When it's before sunrise, it's a really beautiful time to be inward, to be meditating, to be connecting with consciousness. It's a time when the veil is thin. During dawn and dusk, we're in these transitionary times during the day where it's a beautiful time to be praying and meditating. So ideally that's happening before the sun rises. For those of us who are familiar with the terms, the doshas, the vata, pitta, kapha, that is our vata time of the day. So beautiful time to connect with consciousness, spirit. If you're not familiar with these terms, don't worry about it. This still applies. It will still make sense. Also, this time clock is based on being somewhere in the world where the sun rises at 6 a.m. and sets at 6 p.m. So that's going to be a little bit different depending on where you are, but that's the framework for this class. 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., we're in a kapha time period. So it's when the sun is rising, and we want to counteract the energies of kapha, which is earth, and it can be heavy and sluggish. So if we've been sleeping all night long and then sitting in meditation, when the sun starts to rise, it's the time of day to activate our body. So we want to do sun salutations or push-ups and crunches or dancing or just some gentle qigong and movement. This again depends on your dosha, but you want to get your body moving. Ideally taking your first meal of the day before 9 a.m. So we want to, even if it's just a small meal of porridge, but to put something in your belly so that your metabolism kicks on and is ready to go for the rest of the day. I know that right now there's a lot of trending fasts with not eating for extended periods of time, intermittent fasting. That is a medicine tool that can be applied in certain circumstances. Yet generally speaking, for a daily rhythm, for longevity, health, and wellness, we actually do want to be putting something in our belly like some oats and porridge before 9 a.m. just to get the digestive turned on. So we've turned on the body with exercise. Now we're turning on the digestive fire for the day. Then we come to 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So this is our pitta time of day. Pitta is about fire, transformation, and the sun is the strongest during this time of day. Our digestion is also strongest. So this would be when we have our lunch, and we can generally digest a bigger meal at this point in time. And it's the best time of day to be getting our work done, to be productive, to be whatever your life work is, whatever your dharma is, your gifts to the planet. Be creating, be producing during this time. Generally, we're at work during this time of day. I know many people are not at work right now, but still choose something that you can work on. Choose some project that you can put your life force energy into and do it during this time of day when the sun is the strongest and we are the most activated and awake to be creating. Then we move into vata again. So we're cycling back around for 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. So again, this now, let's say we've had a day out working and creating stuff in your house right now, moving a lot of energy. Ideally in between 2 and 6, it's a great time to actually bring the energy back inward to do some creative projects like, if you're actually designing your schedule for the next day is supported during this. Like, just again, we're kind of going inward and reflecting, maybe doing some yoga nidra or some art, just something that is a creative expression of your consciousness, but it can be done, it can be an activity or resting to receive again. So a little more movement perhaps than in the morning vata where we're meditating. But both of these vata hours, this is sunrise or dusk over here, dawn. So these are the times to be reconnecting with yourself. Yoga nidra, connect inwards. Then we're back into kapha from 6 to 10 p.m. This is a good time to nourish that kapha energy. So the earth, the water elements, it's about nourishing. That's kapha. So cooking a meal, sharing with loved ones. If you're in quarantine with family or loved ones, having a meal together. If you're alone, make some phone calls to people that really nourish your soul. It's just such a good time to nourish ourselves and take a hot bath, do a oil massage for yourself or massage others, just something to help bring us back inwards and get us ready for bed. It's a good time to also be reading enlightening texts, to be putting stuff in our mind that is going to elevate our consciousness when we go back into the sleep realm, which is from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. We're sleeping more than just 10 to 2, but this is an ideal hour to definitely be sleeping so that you're digesting the day's activities. If we're up and the wheels start turning and spinning, and sometimes like a lot of artists get creative during that hour, or when we're not in quarantine, people like to go out and party during those hours, because pitta is about the liver and transformation and creation. But the best time to do that is in the middle of the day. For longevity, we actually want to be sleeping at night so that we can rest and our body can transform itself and digest the day's experiences so we wake up the next morning refreshed. Again, you want to get more sleep than these 4 hours. So going to bed by 9, maybe waking up around 4 or 5, depending on, but these hours we do want to be sleeping. Another thing that I just want to take one step back to this kapha hour where I mentioned perhaps reading an enlightening text, a book by Ram Dass. Let's honor Ram Dass right now. And putting that into our consciousness, so we bring that into our time where we're sleeping and digesting. If we're on Facebook, we're checking the news, we're putting all this stuff in our mind right before bed, it's not the best time to do that, because then we pull it into our sleep. We wake up the next day frenzied about it still. If you need to check the news, do your meditation, connect with consciousness, get things moving in your body, have a meal, maybe somewhere in this work hour. You say, okay, at 10 a.m. when I've done my practices, I'm gonna see what's going on in the world because I'm curious. Then carry on. I think it's important to also give ourselves this time to fast and take a break from all the media and news that's out there so that we can actually tune into like our bigger life work that we want to bring into the world. We actually are given such an amazing opportunity right now while in quarantine, while we're having to be inward for extended periods of time. So my hope is that this gives some rhythm and structure to guide your days when there is so much time on our hands and you can just creatively fit your activities into this. So if you have any questions or personal projects that you're working on or ideas and when it would fit into what part of the day, you can message me or send me an email, make a comment here, and I'm happy to assist and help come up with a plan for you to really utilize this time period for our advantage. And that this can get used when we go back out into the real world too. This completely applies. It's the rhythms of nature, the cycles of the sun, and how that's mirrored in our own body, mind, and spirit. Thank you. Namaste.